like I started to say, we've talked a lot of basketball. This past weekend, the Masters happened. A green jacket was given away. Evan, I know you wanted to talk about it.
So I watched a great majority of this tournament. As somebody who has really picked up on the live stuff, I was excited and nervous to see how they'd perform. Um, they performed extremely well, but I made a joke with a bunch of people that when Kepka was up big after the third day, man, what if he just throws it away on day 4 and everybody's like, well, I guess the live players can't play 4 days anymore because they're not playing 4 days. Um, Again, still not the case because Mickelson on the 4th day had an absolute skyrocket, jumped up to second or whatever he got to. Um, I think Patrick Reed, he had a super tournament as well. He was up there like top 5, something like that. So I'm excited in terms of what the live guys did. In terms of who won, I'm so glad Rom won it because one, his idol's birthday was Sunday, and so there's like some Spanish guy, I don't really know his name, but apparently some Spanish dude from when Rom was a kid won the Masters, and he's dead now, but that's who Rom idolized growing up to become a golfer, and so that was that guy's birthday on Sunday. So super awesome moment for John Rom. Um, and obviously he's been the best player on tour in the PGA all year, so awesome for him to get that Masters. Um, I just want to go play there once. It's so freaking pretty. Like everything is just pristine, perfect. Like if you don't even like golf, like I would just go walk the course. I would pay $500 just to be able to go walk it, not hit a single ball. Don't even allow me on the greens. Like I'll walk around the fringe just so I can see all the different like elevations and stuff. I just want to walk it. I mean, one day I hope I can just go watch it one like at some point, but to play there would be something absolutely ridiculous. But man, is it a hard course, especially when it was windy and stuff. Like it just, as somebody who's trying to start playing golf more, the amount of respect for those guys is ridiculous. Like on Wednesday, I watched the par 3 course, and there were like all these hole in ones and stuff, and I'm over here playing at tee time, which is about it's a par 3 course, and I'm like missing the green half the time, and they're like having fun with it, like they're talking to each other, like hey, usually like let's say they'd hit like a gap wedge on this hole, they're like, you know what, who's gonna get closer? Let's use a 7 iron or something like that. It's completely stupid. So it's so much fun. Um, Especially like this is the golfer Super Bowl kind of thing, so it's just an awesome experience for everybody to watch. But in terms of the golf, it was really really good golf. It's unfortunate to see Tiger kind of be done. His body just can't do it anymore. I think he should go to the Live Tour because they always play in warm places. They only play 3 days, and they make a lot of exceptions. The guys on their tour can wear shorts. You can't wear shorts on the PGA Tour. It's not about the shorts, but they would probably let Tiger use a golf cart on a lot of those courses because his body just he can't he can play fine. His shots are insane. He just can't walk hard courses, which is just it sucks to see because like obviously he won in 2019 and he hasn't been bad the past couple of years. He's made some cuts. Like for him to make the cut was absolutely mind-boggling that he could still do that. Um, but it just kind of sucks to see. Um, it's just the end of an era, and it's a hard one, right? Because like you look at some guys, they go out on top, like Jordan going out. Obviously, he came back in the Wizards thing, but we won't really talk about that. But went out on top. You see other guys. Peyton Manning kind of went out with the Super Bowl in Denver or whatever. And then you see a lot of other guys that go way past where they're supposed to be, and then they turn into Paul Pierce playing on the Clippers. So it sucks to see him kind of go out this way where obviously he still made that cut, but he's done. He needs to hang him up.
I got my wisdom teeth out this past Friday, so I was just sitting on the couch watching a lot of sports all weekend, and I watched more golf than I've ever watched in my life, and I was pulling for Sam Bennett so hard.
Mm,
I wanted to see an amateur win that thing so bad.
that was awesome.
And you were talking about how it's so difficult. Sam Bennett's chilling. I think it was 8 under after 2 days, second place. And he's like, yeah, this isn't that hard. The course I normally play is way harder than this. And I think that pissed a lot of people off. It didn't help that the next 2 days he shot over par and then ended up finishing maybe tied for 17th, something like that. But he was exciting to watch. I'll say like a lot of the time I spent watching the PGA Tour or watching the Masters was to watch Rom play because I knew he had a shot to win, and then watching Sam Bennett. I pretty much turned on the holes that Sam Bennett was playing at. That's really who I was tuning in for.
So two things. One, when you have literally they had like the perfect pristine weather the first 2 days, and so that's why those numbers were going so low and everybody's playing really well because they had perfect weather. And so then it's just about can you hit precise shots, and he hit precise shots. All of a sudden, gets cold and rainy. Now it's can you figure out how to beat the cold and rain, and a bunch of people fall apart. So that's the fun thing about Augusta is that it is over 4 days. You could have one phenomenal day because you got good weather, and then the next day it's about who can just figure out how to power through the adversity of whatever the course is throwing at you, and the course won for a lot of people. The other thing, will you watch Sam Bennett when he goes to his first like PGA major when he gets to grow up and do that? Will you be like if you like hear this is like if you saw somewhere Sam Bennett is going to play in his first PGA, he's finally out of college or whatever, he's going to go play in the Open. Would you watch him just to go see him again?
Maybe. I know
That's
that
better than an absolute no, which is what a lot of people would probably say about golfers.
I know that a lot of people, because I think Jordan Spieth was an amateur when he made a run at the U.S. Open back in 15, I want to say. He won that Open, right?
I don't remember. I didn't watch golf when I was a kid, so.
I want to say that he did. I don't know if he was an amateur when he did that, but there was one major that he played in when he was an amateur, and people were like, holy shit, this guy's making a run. And now Spieth is really damn good, so he's kind of like fast-tracked his popularity whenever he was doing that. But I think Sam Bennett's off to a good start. Like, honestly, now that I think about it, when his next major comes up, if he's playing it, I probably will watch it. Like, if he's in the Masters next year, which I don't know if he will be because he didn't get an automatic invitation back for next year, but I will probably watch just to see if he does anything. Does it guarantee that I'm going to be a fan or watch more than one event? No. But will I tune in to the next one? Yeah, probably.
So that's one thing I do. Like, I love bringing on the amateur. Like, I think that's a really cool experience for those really good young dudes, and it also just gets some exposure on their name before they do go pro. I wish other sports could kind of do that. I know you kind of can't, and then, like, obviously with like basketball, football, the guys in college are already getting big shout outs and names and all that kind of stuff, so it's not really a big deal. But I wish they could kind of figure out how to implement amateur kind of stuff in more sports just to get them out there and like see if guys that are still in college can hang with the seasoned vets. Like, I just think that's a cool thing to do. Like with golf, obviously it's whatever because anybody is good at golf. You can be really good at 15 and you can be really good at 75 or whatever. How old Fred Couples is, who like was one of the top dudes, made the cut. Fred's the oldest man ever. So golf, obviously you can kind of get away with that, whereas maybe you can't some other sports. But I do like the amateur aspect of it. Like, I almost wish, like the Olympics, I wish or at least if you can manage it, every single country, like bigger country necessarily, should have like their A team and amateur team. Like, I think that would be really cool to see, like, what if the U.S. walks off with gold and silver in like a bunch of different things. Like, because in swimming, it's just all the best swimmers go, and so you could have a full platform of Americans, Russians, whatever. So I feel like that'd be kind of cool if you gave the amateurs a chance still to kind of go on some of those bigger stage things. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see if we had like an A and B team for the USA basketball team and watch the B team absolutely hand it to the A team. It was like in like with the Dream Team or whatever, watching like that special or whatever. The first like practice they had, they ran it against like some amateurs or something like that, or some like practice squad they had, and they got their asses handed to them in that first game. Like, I would just love to see if they put together a team, even if it wasn't like college kids, but maybe just like guys that aren't in the NBA or just lesser NBA guys that just took it to the A team and beat them and got gold or whatever and knocked the USA amazing team to bronze. Like, that would just be great to kind of almost get some of that in-country rivalry stuff on top of inter-country rivalries.
One thing I wish that they would do is, this is obviously something that's just kind of a joke, but at the Masters every year they had like a casual division. So not even amateurs, but you go to like golf clubs around the country, and then you're like, find me some scratch golfers, and then they come and get like, you got 10 guys that are scratch golfers that like you're just local
Tour pro guys.
Yeah. Then they show up at the Masters and shoot 65 over or something ridiculous. They're not going to shoot that far over because they're still a scratch golfer, so they're good. But I would like to see that where it's like you got Rom shooting 12 under to win the thing or whatever he ended up shooting, and then you got this dude that is good by like the average person's standards.
Everybody
and
in their town's like, this dude's amazing, and then he
Uh-huh.
goes out there and either plays shit or plays somewhat good, and then it's really
Yeah.
cool because then like that's your guy that works at your golf club that just made it to the Masters and played good, or
Yeah.
you can be like, he comes back and be like, damn, bro, you sucked.
I think that would be fun.
I agree.
think that it would be something that maybe some other things do, like the waste management tour. That's the one where people that one's more of like less serious, like have fun, right?
Mhm.
I think maybe they could do that for that one. Maybe get some
Yeah.
casual guys out there playing it. They can wear some polka dotted shit or something.
Yeah.
like just look real funny.
I want to go watch like in person that waste management tour. That looks like so much fun.
Dude, I
I-
would
I don't
watch
even-
if they put on a tour for bad golfers. Like I saw something somewhere where it was like some guy just like made a joke. He like took videos of his friends like setting up for shots and made it look like a PGA broadcast or whatever. And he's like, and so this guy's setting up for his tee box shot on the par 3. Oh, that just hit a car. Like completely shanked it. That was terrible. Like it'd just be so funny to just try and watch some guys that are just obviously just horrible. It's like golfing with friends, but with announcers. So it's even
Yeah.
better.
And you got to have like the Masters announcers too. You
Yeah.
got to have like
Yeah,
the actual
Jim Nance and those
yeah.
guys got to do it and be like, and here he is with his second shot on the par 4. And it's in the water.
I would love if they stopped doing fucking ASMR. I hate when they whisper into the mic like that. I have to watch this shit on mute because ASMR makes me so uncomfortable. So they're whispering into the mic the whole time, and they're like, and that one's gonna go right on the green perfectly here. And it like I can feel it in my chest when they whisper to me like that. I have to listen on mute, otherwise I physically start to feel ill. I don't know what it is, but I wish that they would just get absolutely up in arms. Like, oh my god, is it Gus Anderson or is that his name, Cole?
Gus Johnson.
Gus Johnson, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I knew it was could not remember his last name. They need Gus Johnson out there, like from the tee box. Oh, he sticks it. That'd be awesome. I wish that they had a guy like that.
Or like a Bob Minery.
Yeah,
That guy, like they need to make. That's the one thing that I think sports media needs to do. They need to make an explicit division, like ESPN ESPN explicit, and
I
they
wish-
bring on guys like that are out here, and some guy gets a drop, and oh my god, he just got fucking dropped. Like,
yeah. I think that
sit your ass down, you suck, motherfucker. Like,
when
that'd be
MLB was
great.
looking for broadcasting partners, I think 2 years ago they ended up going with Apple TV. Barstool was actually putting their name into the ring, like threw their hat in. They were trying to get a bid for that. I think that would have opened up a lot of doors. That would have been awesome to
who
see
doesn't want to
the broadcaster just absolutely clowning on guys. Like I think you would have had so many viewers for that. Like you put it like it probably would have been behind a subscription or you have to go online for somewhere. But if Barstool somehow gets like a TV channel and they can start broadcasting things, like they have a college basketball game. They have I'm trying to think of what it's called. I think it's just like the Barstool Classic, Barstool Tournament or something. But it's like a 4-team event. And they have like Dave Portnoy and Big Cat are the commentators for those games. And they talk about their bets. They don't care what they say on the air.
Yeah.
They talk trash on the players. Like, that's awesome. I was watching games and it's like fucking like Dart Smith is playing in it. But like, dude, do I care about the Ivy League teams? Not really. But I was watching those games. I wish that they would get those out there.
Yeah.
all I'm hearing about Gus Johnson, just the 20-foot putt, and you just hear bang.
Yeah, Mike Breen out
Yeah.
there. That double bang.
It's
someone hits
going, bang! Like, yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be awesome. I wish that they should do that. Maybe we should.
They would totally benefit.
Viewers, yeah,
There is-
so many viewers.
There is no detriment if you do that, other than like, because again, you just make it an explicit channel, and it's just like HBO or anything like that. It's like a subscription kind of thing.
I mean, hell, ESPN already has like 14 of ESPN 1, ESPN 2, ESPN 3, ESPN The Ocho, ESPN News.
Just make it the Ocho. Just
Yeah.
officially
Yeah.
make the Ocho and have it be explicit. Have like what's the guy from Dodgeball that's
Pepper
on there?
Brooks and Cotton McKnight.
Yeah.
I knew Cole knew. I looked at him immediately. I knew Cole knew.
Yeah, we need those guys out there announcing.
Pat McAfee, you get all
Oh,
of them.
that'd
That's
be
a
sweet.
bold strategy, Cotton. Like, we need those
See if
guys.
that pays off for him. That would be awesome. But I kind of talked about Barstool getting into the broadcast for baseball. I'm going to use that as a okay transition into
Nice segue.
baseball.
Nice
Thank you.
segue.
Thank you. Hope someone noticed. It was a 3 out of 10 segue into baseball. We're now, I want to say, 10, 11 games in. The Rays aren't losing. The Rays are going 162 and winning the World Series.
Rosarena hit a bomb while we were talking about golf. I'm not
Yes,
even joking.
He did indeed.
He's nuts.
This guy is unreal. They're up 3-0 in bottom 3. They're going 162-0 and winning the World Series on a dead sweep.
And
I'm
the
calling
fact that 2 weeks ago we didn't even talk about them as a playoff team. Like again,
They weren't on my list for winners of the.
like again, 12 games in, very very short sample size, but like this is impressive.
They've won every single game by 4 or more runs already. Like
Yeah.
how do you going 11-0 is wild, but winning every game by 4 runs or more is insane.
If I was able to, I'm not going to lie, I would bet against them to make the playoffs because I truly think they'll still miss the playoffs.
You think they'll fall off that? I won't say that
Yes.
hard because we are 12 games in and there's still 150 to go. But you really think they're gonna fall off a
Yes.
cliff?
Because currently they have played the Pirates and the Athletics and then some other very bad organization. I don't know. I think the Reds.
Yeah, I will admit their opponents are not fantastic. And they're
They're
playing the Red Sox right
three
now
of like the four
in the Nationals.
in the Nationals, like three of the worst teams in the league, and then right now the Red Sox, who
They're playing
also
the Red
aren't
Sox,
very
who are
good.
also under 500. Which,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see what they're actually made of here in a few days when they start playing the Blue Jays. But hell of a way to start the season off for the Rays. Round of applause from me personally. But yeah, they started off setting the world on fire. Randy Arozarena might hit 104 home runs. He's at 3 with this one, so I mean it'd be bold. But
Only 101 to go.
yeah, needs a lot more. Kind of like with my fantasy team, I picked up Alec Boehm. He hit 13 bombs last year. He's on pace for 55, so I'm holding out hope. Maybe that'd be something. Like Cole's got his cup for college basketball, and I've got my fantasy team for baseball. I pick a guy, he goes ballistic, which is absolutely not true because I got absolutely shit on in the first week of fantasy. My team played terrible, but a guy I really wanted to pick up because I thought he was going to have a breakout year, Jared Kelnick, didn't end up getting him. Cole took him from me. He is having a breakout 12 games. He's hitting over 300. I want to say it's up near 350. He had a 482-foot bomb, the longest home run in StatCast era at Wrigley Field today. Absolutely annihilated that ball. And he was obviously former top prospect, 2 shit years. People are like, there's no way this guy ends up coming to amounting to anything. So this year, I don't know what it was. I had a feeling. I'm like, you know what? He's gonna do what he's shown in the minors that he could do. Like why he had all that hype. He had a really good spring. I was excited. He went ballistic. So I was like, I'm thinking he's gonna carry this on into the regular season, and he's done that so far. And I would like to give props officially.
So far, I mean, obviously we just talked about the Rays, but what are your kind of surprises for the season so far? 12 games in.
The Cardinals are not good.
Hey, we beat the Rockies. We won the series against the Rockies. It's about time.
As a Dodgers fan, just the pitching that we have let up so many runs, which blows my mind because, yes, we're missing Walker Buehler, who is probably not. No, he is our best pitcher. So missing him is hurts our depth and rotation quite a bit. But I still think the Dodgers' strongest asset coming into this season was our pitching, and I've been proven wrong.
It's not looked good. The Diamondbacks are extremely surprising.
Yes.
I did not expect. They have a couple rookies, which I'd seen some of them as under the radar guys, like Dre Jameson. I saw a lot of people saying watch out, this guy's actually pretty solid, and he's looked good in some of the games he's thrown. And Zach Gallen obviously had a very underrated Cy Young campaign last year. They've got a lot of guys that fly. I'll tell you what, they swipe bags like it is nobody's business. Don't let them in your house because they might steal something. It is crazy. And they've got some pop, too. They were hitting bombs left and right. Corbin Carroll's hitting them out. Perdomo's hitting home runs. Alec Thomas was, I think, 1 for 16 heading into or 0 for 16 heading into one game against the Dodgers. Then he went, I think, 5 for 5 in that game. They've got so many dudes that are young and explosive and exciting. They are, I think, going to be better than a lot of people thought they were going to be this year. But obviously there was a lot of talk about the new rules coming into play this year. And this was a stat I saw after the first 4 days, so I don't know how they have been updated recently. There was a little bit of a change. I'll get to that. But through the first 4 days of the season compared from last year to this year, the time of game was down over 30 minutes. Batting average was up 15 points. On-base percentage was up 15 points. And slugging percentage was up also around 15 points. Stolen bases through the first 4 games of last year, or first 4 days, 29 stolen bases total, 67% success rate on the stolen bases. This year, 70 stolen bases. 83% of them were swiped successfully. And then obviously a lot of pitch clock violations. But this is a huge plus for any people that are going to the game. Now that the games are taken shorter, beer is being sold longer at the stadium.
Which did you see that? Yeah, the Milwaukee Brewers. I wonder if how many other teams are going to follow.
I
But
saw that. I believe Milwaukee's at least the second.
Oh,
there
who was
are,
the
there are
first?
at least two. I don't know if Milwaukee was the first or the second, but I saw another team did it. They're slipping my mind. I do not remember who it was, but people are now starting to sell beer through the 8th inning rather than the 7th because the games are taking longer. So that's just a dub for baseball fans. You get to see more stolen bases, higher batting average. Games are the pace of play is up. Games are not taking as long, and you get beer longer into the game.
so there's now 4 teams. You have the Diamondbacks, the Rangers, the Twins, and the Brewers.
I do not remember which team it was that I saw that did it other than the Brewers.
Yeah.
But
So there's 4 teams now that have extended alcohol sales to the 8th inning. So that is a huge win.
yeah.
Another big shock that I saw is why are the Phillies so ass?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's because they don't have Bryce Harper or Reese Hawkins. Like, I think those are huge hits against them.
'Cause,
I don't
like,
know.
I was thinking it'd be like a neck and neck race between them and the Braves towards the end of the season on who wins the division. I would think the Braves would win that, but right now Philly is 4th in their division with a 4-8 record, and they're only half a game better than the Nationals. And the Nationals are known as like arguably the worst team in the league. So like, what is happening to them? Do you know? Do any of you guys know?
They're missing those guys at the plate. And then I think that Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler are both very good pitchers, but I think that their effects are better felt through the wear and tear of a season because they're more workhorse guys. They're not going to go out there and every single night give you 8 shutout innings. Like they'll go 6 or 7, or they'll go like 6, 7, 8, give you 3 or 4 runs, but they're doing that every single start. So then it's like end of the year, you're like, holy shit, they threw 220 innings that had like a 2.8 ERA or a 3.2 ERA. You're like, okay, they're actually pretty good. But if you watch them on like a Sunday night and you watch them go 7 innings, 3 earned runs, are you like, oh, are they a Cy Young candidate? Like maybe you don't think that, but I think that through the course of the season, you'll see their effect kind of come into play more. But the Phillies' defense is terrible. Their bullpen is not good. It was terrible last year too. But I think the fact that they're missing 2 of their star players is a big blow. But I think they get it on track. Like they've got some guys that they're trying to find like who to put into those spots. But once Bryce Harper gets back, that's one spot that you don't have to worry about.
When is he getting back though?
Around the All-Star break, I believe.
I think so.
And then if he can play the field, that's a big help defensively because right now their outfield is what do you
I don't know. How long does a Tommy John usually take to recover?
normally a little over a year.
Yeah, I think because when did he have that surgery? Does anyone know?
I want to say it was him. If it was like if he had full on Tommy John like complete tear, then it's probably a while. But I heard that he's gonna be back this season, so it had to be like
Yeah.
a minimal.
Yeah, I heard that too, but that's why I kind of shook my head because I don't think he'll be.
Maybe
clear to
it'll be like he'll
throw.
be cleared to swing and he'll come back in DH like he did last year.
Yeah,
But
but even then, your defense isn't that great in the outfield.
yeah, he had that surgery in November 23rd.
Yeah,
So,
so you're probably right on the All-Star break because that'll be what 8 months, 9 months, 8. Oh, I can't do
okay,
math.
so they said that he will return to DH by the All-Star break of 2023. That's the prognosis. And then there's a possibility for him to return to right field by the end of the regular season, which feels a little bit optimistic to me, honestly, just for him to be back and playing the field by then. I guess if you're not pitching, you're only making a few throws here and there. It's not terrible.
That's why I had assumed that's why I shook my head because I don't even if it's not a full Tommy John, like that's still the same premise and you're still repairing the same thing, and for pitchers it takes over a year. Granted, pitchers are putting a lot more strain on the UCL, but still.
Yeah, Seattle. If I'm not mistaken, all of us picked Seattle as our AL West winner. They are currently in.
No, I picked the Astros.
You picked the Astros. Okay, well that's.
Who did I pick? I picked the
The
A's.
Astros are still under 500.
Yeah,
but-
the Astros are playing like gas too.
But the Mariners are 5-8, under 500. Julio Rodriguez is playing okay, a little worse than you'd expect, but I mean they're hoping he gets that back up. They've got a really good bullpen. I think their bullpen's kind of failed them in at least 2 or 3 games so far. I think that gets fixed relatively quickly. They also had a game the other day that got blown by Teoscar Hernandez in the outfield. I love Matt Brash. He was in the game, 2 outs, routine fly ball to Teoscar in the outfield to end the game. And Teoscar kind of just jogs after it and then just jumps at the last second and just skips off his glove, 2 runs end up scoring, where if he just makes the play, the
Game's
game
over.
is over. And then that game ended up going to like 15 innings, and the Guardians ended up winning by 1.
I wouldn't say it was a routine pop fly because the wind definitely affected it, but like he definitely should have caught the ball still. He made it look way more difficult than it needed to be. He took the worst route ever towards it as well.
Yeah, it was not pretty. That's for sure.
Kind of a mini sidetrack. Did you guys see the minor league team that won 7-5 off a no hitter?
That was ugly.
Have you seen the highlights of that one center fielder error that cleared the bases?
No.
Like it was like right in his glove, and like I guess he just closed his glove way too early, and it just dropped. Like it was nuts.
Ben Joyce was actually the losing pitcher in that one. The one from Tennessee last year that was throwing like 105, 106. He was the losing pitcher in that game, if I'm not mistaken. They walked like 5 guys, 6 guys, 7 guys that inning, hit like 3 or 4 of them. It was unreal. Like, that was just absolutely terrible basketball. Also,
You mean baseball?
yep, sorry, baseball. Terrible baseball. But also, Indy recently, they had a pitcher throw a no-hitter and hit for the cycle in the exact same game. Absolutely wild. I know that he was on the Pat McAfee show recently, and Pat McAfee tried to give him money, and then he had to turn it down due to NCAA. So then Pat McAfee trying to turn it into an NIL deal. So that guy is going to make a name for himself, which is big time. But I'm going to ask this question because I know that Cole is someone that does this all the time, and it really makes me angry. But you see things out of the ordinary, you're like, holy shit. When that thing happens again, are you less impressed by it? Or are you still like, wow, that's still crazy? Like, Cole saw that dude hit for the cycle and throw a no-hitter in the same game. Eric Roberts plays at UE. He's leading the conference in home runs and RBIs right now currently, right?
Yes.
And he just started pitching for the game for us yesterday. So I brought that up to Cole, and Cole goes, I don't care. That's not that impressive. He didn't hit it for the cycle and throw a no-hitter in the same game. I'm like, dude, he threw 3 shutout innings while also leading the conference in home runs, RBIs, and I think he's second or third in stolen bases. Like, this guy's is a weapon at the plate, and then he's starting pitching too.
You're kind of comparing, like, are you really setting the bar at has to throw a no-hitter and has to hit for the cycle in the same game? Is that your bar for having I don't want to say a position player, but he mostly plays right field. He's pitched, I think he pitched last year too. But, like, he hasn't pitched since last year, and he is leading the conference. Are you really going to set the bar at the cycle and then the no-hitter?
I'm not setting the bar at that for like, oh, that's what you need to be. I'm setting that as like, holy cow, that's like very impressive. That blows my mind. Anything like that. Like, it's still cool and impressive that they are doing this. That Eric Roberts, you said,
Yeah.
for him to do this, but it's not blowing me away, blowing my mind like he did because I've seen it now that I know it's possible. I won't be like my mind won't be blown like that until it happens again. But this is still very impressive what he is being able to do. If that makes sense.
It does. It does. Like, I get what you're saying. I don't know.
It's a grim way to watch everything. Like, you watch everything just knowing you're never going to be wowed. Just like, okay, well, someone's done that before. I'm just going to watch and just see if anything crazy happens.
He leads the conference and he pitched. Not Shohei Ohtani. Don't
Yeah.
care.
He didn't win an MVP in the MLB. Someone dunked from the free throw line. Okay, well, Michael Jordan dunked from half court in Space Jam, so that's not that cool. I'm not gonna lie, you do that all the time, and it really pisses me off. Like, I tell you something, they're like, okay, cool. Well, this guy hit a 600-foot home run. Okay, cool. He hit 550 feet. That's still he fucking mollywopped that thing.
Like, I get what he's saying, but like it's hard to compute in my brain because it sounds stupid. Like, that's just to me, it sounds stupid.
It's just so boring. It's like once you see something like that happens, and then being like, oh, well, I'm never gonna get. No one's ever gonna top this. What's the point of even watching the games then? Like, if you're not gonna get excited,
If somebody
because
dropped 80, would you be like, damn, that was impressive? Or would you be like, well, Kobe got 81. Will got 100. It wasn't that good.
I would still be very impressed. But the thing is, like, I'm still, because if I go to the MLB and watch an Angels game with Ohtani's pitching, I'm going to see not the home run cycle or whatever no-hitter cycle, but like I'm seeing that every single time Shohei pitches. So I feel like now that it's happening more and more, I don't really find it that impressive. But like 80 hasn't been dropped in 17 years. And before that, it hadn't been dropped in like 60. So I think it's still super impressive if it were to happen right now. So like that's my thinking on that.
So are you basing it off of length of time between it happens? Is that like the kind of bare like, oh, if it hasn't happened in 25 years, then
I think with it not happening in a while, it shows like when Shohei came in and was able to do it, I was like very like starstruck because like it hadn't happened in a century since Babe Ruth had done it. So like since it's so rare, that's what kind of blows my mind.
Yeah,
The rarity of it.
I get that.
Colts is a perfect game with 10 strikeouts. Okay, cool. Well, Matt Cain had a perfect game with 14 strikeouts, so I don't really care.
I did it in MLB The Show with 20 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Take that.
Kerry Wood, perfect game. Combine them both. Cole doesn't give a shit.
Poor Cole. We're just picking on him.
Yeah.
Actually, mostly Troy is, but
Yeah, I mean, you'll have that. You're brothers. You gotta make fun of each other.
No, you don't.
You act like you don't make fun of me all the time. That's an issue for a different podcast. If we ever have absolutely nothing to talk about, maybe Cole and I can just come and like rap battle or something on here. We can just have like a roast of each other.
Yeah.
I don't rap battle.
Well, then you're gonna get fucking flamed that episode. I'll tell you what. If it's only me, man, you're gonna be catching some strays.
Just to kind of take this back to baseball, Jordan Walker hit 12-game hit streak after today. He ties the record with Eddie Murphy. That record has been held for 111 years. And tomorrow against the Pirates.
So wasn't that cool? Because I have it 112 years ago.
Okay, well that's cool because Eddie Murphy did it, and he's also a comedian. So who gives a shit? But
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because he's just poor Cole.
he was Donkey and Shrek, and he had a 12-game hit streak. So I don't want to hear it, guys.
I need to retire.
So I wanted to bring that up just because he's taken the Cardinals by storm and seemingly through these first 12 games is like our only good player. But we've won 2 games straight against the Rockies, so it looks like we're straightening out. But
We also had like a topic about that. We were talking about O'Neal Cruz, and he's like, "How old's O'Neal Cruz?" I'm like, "I think 24." He goes, "Jordan Walker's playing good. And he's 19." Like he talked
Said 20.
when I think about these young prospects, I think of 19. I'm like, dude, those are like fucking generational talent guys. You look at like Machado, Bryce Harper, Juan Soto, Acuna, like Jordan Walker. Not a lot of these guys are coming up at 19 and absolutely shredding it. Like you see a lot of these guys are coming in closer to 23, 24 and tearing up than they are 19 and doing good right off the bat. But I don't know. If Jordan Walker ends up getting to like Juan Soto level, that would be quite insane because I can't like that would be one of those guys where like I didn't really expect it. You know, I mean, like I knew he was good, but like, did I think he was going to be Juan Soto? No.
I also don't think anyone expected him to have this much of an impact on the team in his first 12 games as a major leaguer. Like, this is impressive. Like, he's still got some things to work out defensively, but like his plate composure, his batting composure is really impressive.
Do you think that because the rest of the team is struggling, that it kind of elevates his performance? Like, say the rest of the team is playing well and you guys are, let's say, 8-3 through the first 11, and everyone else is hitting well. Do you think that people are like, "Oh, well, Jordan Walker's playing good," but because the team's kind of scuffling and he's playing as well, you're like, "Holy shit, he's playing great."
I don't think so because because he is 20 years old. I think how do I want to word this? I don't know because obviously the Cardinals haven't had that start. So I mean it is like hindsight 2020. Like if they were good, I don't know. How would people react? I think because he is, I want to say like promised to be the generational talent, but we all know he's going to be very good and he's going to be here for a long time. I think we kind of expected him to maybe adjust to the major leagues, and I think that's why we're thinking like he's the next best thing because he hasn't really had or needed that time to adjust, and he's just been taking advantage and now has 12 hits in 12 straight games. So
Yeah, I guess we'll see. That'd be quite something if he just comes in and just absolutely tears it up, ends up doing this all year. I mean, obviously you're not going to go on like a 162-game hit streak. That'd be fucking insane. But
imagine
that'd be crazy. Just
not good enough for Cole.
yeah,
I would be impressed by that. Come on now. Don't lie.
yeah. I mean, it would it would almost triple the current record. So
What is the current record? Like 57?
I think it's 56.
If you can
It's
keep
Ted-
talking, I can look it up.
I believe it's 56 by Lou Gehrig.
I thought it was 57 by Ted Williams.
No, I don't. Oh my God! On MLB
It
The
is-
Show.
It is Joe DiMaggio,
Joe
50,
DiMaggio.
56 consecutive games.
Fuck! I knew it was a Yankee. Fucking shit! I couldn't remember if it was Lou
Well,
Gehrig.
actually, if you go on MLB The Show 16, you'll see that it is my Road to the Show player, Jake Morrison.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
He has a
Well, I
hit.
did this in a video game one time. I hit 800 home runs in a year. So Barry Bonds, ooh.
Yeah, my guy actually has 4 straight years with a hit, so it's not Joe DiMaggio.
4 straight years with a hit. I hope he gets a hit in a full year.
That was good.
You were completely vague with that. You had to know that I was gonna find something there. Bro just gets one hit all year, and that's the one guy. One hit. This guy's crazy. One for the century.
One for 467 on the season, but he's got a hit for 4 straight years.
Dude, that's crazy. If I'm not mistaken, Miggy's gotten a hit for like 20 straight years. He's got to be fucking insane in your books then, huh?
Compose yourself. Compose yourself. Fight back.
Can't.
Cole just knows he came in today expecting to get flamed,
Yeah.
but he still can't compose himself when it happens.
When you're wearing that shirt, which for the listeners, it's a 2022 North Carolina men's Final Four. After dogging on Caleb Love, who probably got you there.
Yeah. And Armando Bacot and Brady Manick.
Yeah.
Cole likes to live in the past, except for whenever it benefits his arguments. All the time he loves to. Whenever I talk West Virginia, North Carolina against him, he's like, okay, well, North Carolina's won a championship before. I'm like, yeah, well, North Carolina wasn't in the tournament this year, and we were 9 seed. I like to live in the present. I don't know about you, guy. So then he never has a rebuttal for that one.
I consider the last 2 years the present.
Really, because I don't think that 2 years ago was happening right now. That's all I'm saying.
I consider it recent enough. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not the present.
You're right.
Yeah. I mean, I can go 2 years ago. I can go back and know exactly what happened. Right now, I have no idea what's going to happen.
In
Like
college basketball,
I can reach across the cable and snap the shit out of you.
I think 2 years is reasonable. Like NBA, I feel like 5 years you can consider recent. College basketball, I think
Exactly.
2 years is okay. Like,
Yeah. And within the last 2 years, we went to the tournament or to the championship. You didn't, so fuck you.
Okay, well, you want to know what's awesome is that if I went back 2 years and then relived everything with the knowledge I have now, I would have a lot of goddamn money, and I would put FanDuel, and I would put DraftKings, and I would put Barstool Sportsbook all out of money. But if I'm talking right now, they're taking my money fucking hand over fist right now. Speaking of that, I put down a parlay today. Just a little like
Was
six.
it Nerfies? The Nerfies?
No, the Nerfies haven't been hitting for me, so I
wait,
switched
before
it up.
you
Had to
start,
change my
I just want
mojo.
to remind everybody that on Wednesday before
hey.
the season started, the number one bet that Troy said was gonna hit was that the Reds and who are they playing? The Pirates. There was going to be a run scored in the first. That was the lock, 100%. Put all your money on it.
I was watching that game because he told me to put money on it, and I was losing my mind. I texted him. I was like, "Well, this pitcher is shit. Like, I
Mitch
don't."
Keller was playing like shit, man. That's not on me. I can't throw the pitches and make the bets.
It's funny because we have sports promotion, and he told me to put, was it the Tigers and Rays?
Yes.
And he's like, parlay them. And I was like, okay. And so I was watching the Tigers Rays games on my laptop, and that hit, I want to say easily, but it hit. I was like, oh, we're feeling great. I turn on the Reds Pirates game. I see Mitch Keller just be terrible at his job. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Mitch Keller was like, no run first inning. Never heard of her. Immediately gives up runs. I swear to God, it's like the first batter gets on base, next batter drives him in. It was crazy.
To be fair, I haven't heard of a Troy lock of the day since that day. So
It's because I fucking
There are
stopped
none.
picking the lock of the days. I pick them. I'm like, this could hit, maybe. We'll see. But I put down a parlay today, like I was saying. It was like 6 legs, players to get a hit. And the first like 3 legs hit. Jeff McNeil sets a career high in walks, gets one fucking at bat, and doesn't get a hit. Like, that's unreal. Like, how am I going to bet on him to get a hit? And then there's like, you know what? No strikes today for you, Jeff. Hate when that shit happens. I swear to God, it's always some anomaly. It's unreal. Maybe I'll do my research and then I'll have a lock of the century for next week. We'll see, but probably not.
just or a reminder since week 1, whatever Troy says,
Go
fade
against.
immediately.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I could be like, book it with Trent. I could start posting my picks, and then people be like, all right, I know exactly what I'm going to bet, just the opposite of what this guy says. And I would be making a lot of people money, but I wouldn't be making myself money is the problem.
See,
But
that's
But you'd be getting money from TikTok.
Yeah.
From so many people watching you.
I was gonna say that's why you got to turn it into like a social media thing, so
Exactly.
you can still get money, so you can
Yeah.
keep betting and
Yeah.
making other
you
people
keep
money.
betting, not betting too much, so you're not losing enough. But people noticing, oh, he's betting that. Let's go against him. And then since they catch on, like, oh, this guy's fucking an idiot. He can't do he doesn't know anything. Doesn't know any bets. That's like everyone go check him out, and then you get a shit ton of money from your viewership and followers, and then boom, that's how you make your money.
This
I've always wondered if he faded himself, Just like he'd make a pick, post it, and he'd be like, you know what? I'm just gonna fade myself
I've-
just in case.
That'd be wild. He's just actually a really good bettor, but he
Yeah.
just posts his shit pics on purpose. But
To get a shit ton of money from viewership and followers.
that'd be big brain. But this idea just came across the old noodle. I think that if anyone is trying to start sports betting and needs a reference code, hit me up. I will send you my reference code, and I will be betting with house money. They match your deposit. I get that in my account. Just had that recently. $50 hit the account today. I was like, $25 down on over the home runs in the Pirates game. It was calling my phone. I picked it up. I put it down. I made like $5. It was not a lot because the odds were not great. But I'll tell you what, that money hit. I was like, oh, it's over.
Just gotta see one. Just go in. Gotta see one go in.
I'm about to start firing them off now. It's like, oh, you better watch out, Barstool. I'm coming to take back the $85 I've lost in the 2 months I've been legally able to sports bet. All right, guys. I will say though, since when I turned 21, I set a number. I was like, guys, I'm gonna make $200 on sports betting. I'm glad to say I'm now $285 away from reaching that goal. But hey, you know what?
I think we need to have a talk. Just
It's not a lot. I mean, I could be throwing down like $85. I got friends that throw down like $85 on just a one bet. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck. I throw down like long parlays and I'll put down like 50 cents on. I mean, like, yeah, are those gonna hit? Probably not. But the time they does, it's fucking electric.
yeah.
Well, I think that's gonna do it for us today.
Real quick, I just want to
Oh
shout
yeah,
out
I forgot.
the local team, local hockey team, Evansville Thunderbolts. They're starting the playoffs tomorrow. It'd be awesome if you're listening in Evansville by the time this goes up. If you guys show out, it's about $15 per ticket. It's not too bad. Just get it from the box office. Don't give Ticketmaster your money because they will. The ticket fees cost more than the actual ticket. Just go to the box office. We're the 5th seed playing Roanoke. They're called the Rail Yard Dogs. It's kind of sick.
That's a sweet
That's
mascot.
Dopest name.
But yeah, we're the 5th seed. So even though we're the 5th seed, we're pretty good. We've set a franchise record and win. So it'd be cool if you guys showed out tomorrow, 7 p.m. puck drop. Wear white. It is a whiteout. So just want to throw it in there. Shout out the local team.
Good stuff. But with that, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Want to give one last shout out to the Crescent. They host this. They sponsor this. It's everyone go follow our socials. Crescent Magazine on Instagram. Crescent Magazine 1 on Twitter. And UE Crescent Magazine on Facebook. Posting a lot on all of them. Make sure you give us a follow. Peace.